Kong's Jungle Gauntlet, evolution of apex predator in the heart of a vast, untouched wilderness, where towering canopies swallowed the sunlight and rivers carved ancient veins through the land. A legend was born. His name was whispered in the rustle of leaves and felt in the trembling earth beneath massive footsteps. Kong, the ultimate apex predator. But he wasn't always the towering force that commanded the jungle. His story began long before his crown was earned, in a world where survival meant constant war with the elements and every living thing that breathed. From his earliest days, Kong was tested. As a young and smaller creature, he navigated a world full of dangers far greater than himself. Giant serpents slithered through the swamps, waiting to constrict the unwary. Raptors with hooked claws prowled the undergrowth, their eyes burning with hunger. Even the skies offered no safety. Winged predators shadowed the ground as they circled above. In those days, Kong's victories were not marked by brute force alone, they were carved by cunning. He learned the rhythm of the jungle, the scent of danger carried on the wind, the shift of silence that meant something unseen was stalking him. Kong's growth was not just of body, but of mind. Each battle honed him, each scar told a story. The jungle had no patience for the weak, and Kong adapted in ways no other creature could. He learned to use the terrain, slamming foes against the trunks of ironwood trees, driving enemies into quicksand, and even luring them into narrow ravines where their size became a weakness. His raw power grew with every season, his muscles hardened like the cliffs he scaled. But it was his patience that became his deadliest weapon. The turning point came one blood-red dusk when an intruder entered Kong's territory, a rival predator, unlike anything he had faced before. It was a beast of nightmarish proportions, covered in jagged scales and armored plates, with a maw that could swallow a boulder whole. For 3 days, they clashed. The jungle shook with their roars, rivers ran dark with churned-up mud and blood, and the air was thick with the scent of destruction. Kong was battered, bleeding, and exhausted, yet he never backed down. On the third night, as lightning split the sky, he delivered the final crushing blow, his massive fists pounding the creature into submission until the jungle itself seemed to go silent. From that night on, the jungle was his. Predators who once hunted him now fled at the sound of his approach. The ground became his throne, the treetops his crown. But dominance came with a price. New threats always emerged. Creatures from the deepest caverns, ancient beasts long thought extinct. Even outsiders from beyond the sea each sought to challenge him. Yet each time, Kong met them not with reckless fury, but with the calculated power of a ruler who knew the cost of losing. As the years passed, Kong became more than a predator. He was the balance of the jungle, the force that kept chaos at bay. Without him, the smaller creatures would be hunted to extinction. The trees stripped bare by swarming grazers, the rivers choked with decay. Every battle, every scar, every roar that shook the mountains was a chapter in a story larger than himself. And yet, perhaps his greatest battle was not against fang or claw, but against time itself. The jungle was changing, storms grew more violent, prey scarcer, and predators bolder. Kong had to evolve yet again, adapting to an environment that no longer played by the old rules. His tactics became sharper, his movements more precise, and his patience deeper than ever. In the twilight of his reign, a challenge unlike any before emerged, a coalition of predators working together, a force designed to break the balance he had fought so long to protect. It was not a single battle, but a war, fought over many moons. The jungle became a battlefield. Every tree and river, a strategic point. Kong fought with the wisdom of a warlord, using deception, terrain, and sheer endurance to dismantle his enemies piece by piece. When the final battle came, it was not with the roar of a wild beast, but with the silent, unshakable resolve of a king defending his kingdom. When the dust settled, Kong stood alone. The jungle was scarred, but still alive. The creatures that had once cowered now thrived under his rule. His body bore the map of his life in deep scars and weathered strength, but his eyes burned with the same fire as when he was young. Kong's journey was never about being the biggest or even the strongest, it was about becoming the unshakable force that no storm, no predator, no time could topple. He had not just survived the gauntlet of the jungle, he had mastered it. And as long as his footsteps echoed through the ancient forests, the balance would hold, and the legend of the ultimate apex predator would never fade.